as a government shutdown looms. And in sports, Ohio hockey is preparing for another title run. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Silver Barker and welcome to Newswatch. The City of Athens is about to begin the bidding process for a $2 million improvements project. Newswatch reporter Jack Green joins us live in the studio with more on the plans and the changes coming up to Uptown Athens.
That's right, Silver. Next Monday, Athens City Council will vote on moving the bidding process forward on the Uptown Improvements Project. The project plans on making major changes to Uptown streets and sidewalks. It's a project long overdue.
Athens is 30 years behind where they should be.
Making Uptown more welcoming for all people. Focusing on the blocks between Congress, College, Union, State, and Mill Street, the project will upgrade the city's streets and sidewalks to meet Americans with Disability Act standards. Advocates say Uptown is one of the worst areas for accessibility.
As you can just tell by looking, just visually, it's some of the worst major pedestrian intersections in Ohio.
McNelly and city officials say intersections like this one pose a major risk to residents. So to help reduce that risk while also maintaining the identity of Uptown Athens, Athens Mayor Steve Patterson suggests replacing crosswalks with brick-stamped concrete.
To be able to do something different and still preserve the look and feel of brick, but it's not necessarily brick, by having a poured, concrete crosswalks, I think would be a great solution.
Phase 1 of the project will also help build bump outs at crosswalks, replace street lamps, and smoothen out sidewalks. McNelly and Patterson say it's important for Athens to make these changes now.
It's a lot less expensive right now to get it done right than face a bunch of lawsuits piecemeal to get it done later.
We know that where the areas of improvement are, and we'll sit there and start tackling those as we look forward. It's going to be expensive, but it's absolutely important.
Construction on phase 1 of the project is expected to begin this summer.
So wait, you mean, so this is only phase 1. So then what's next for the project?
So you are correct. This is only phase 1, but there's no word yet on when phase 2 will begin. Athens Mayor Steve Patterson says he hopes on focusing on Carpenter Street and making Uptown look a little bit more uniform.
All right, well, I definitely look forward to seeing those changes. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Great, thanks, Jack. The Mount Zion Baptist Church is almost 151 years old, and now the historic building is finally getting some renovations. Take a look. This is what the next chapter looks and sounds like for the Mount Zion Baptist Church. Restoring the historic stained glass windows, renovating the basement, and replacing the roof. All to breathe new life into the last Black landmark left in Athens. The Mount Zion Preservation Society has a vision and is looking to turn the place into something meaningful for the Black community. Dr. T. For Ahmed is a member of the Mount Zion Preservation Society, and she believes this project is important for many reasons.
To certainly keep the history alive, to build character, to build confidence, to build credibility, to add to the esteem of certainly for students that come here.
A class at Ohio University's College of Business did a semester-long research project asking a total of 100 alums, students, and businesses what they would like to see the building turned into. The top answer was a soul food restaurant. Second was an event venue for performances, and third was a broadband for socializing. All three ideas were taken into consideration by the Preservation Society, as they are now looking to try and implement them. While some would like to see new additions to the building, others think the church should remain just as it is.
I think we should leave it as a church and like a historical piece, and not, put anything in there, because we have a whole bunch of spaces where we can utilize on campus and in Athens.
The Mount Zion Preservation Society is currently working with multiple construction crews to make improvements to the building. Although the project is finally in action, there is still much more work to be done. The Mount Zion Preservation Society plans to launch a capital campaign this fall to raise more money. While there is not an exact date, the project is estimated to take well over a year before complete. The Athens County Board of Education is auctioning off an old maintenance building near the Athens Middle School. The building is around 0.4 acres and is located at 23 South Lancaster Street. The auction for the property is October 4th at the district's administrative offices in Chansey. The minimum opening bid is $120,000. USA Today releases its list of the best U.S. destinations to visit this fall. And Hocking Hills State Park ranked in the top 3 with over 2,000 acres with 100 different species of trees. Autumn is an especially colorful time of year for the state park. According to the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, fall foliage in our region is set to peak in mid to late October. And we're already beginning to see some glimpses of fall colors throughout the state. Taking a live look outside here in Athens, we're seeing some pops of red and orange. Now, over forecaster Cam Kuzno for a look at these fall-like conditions. Cam?
Thank you, Silver. And today we saw an especially fall-like day with lots of clouds and very mild temperatures. Right now we're sitting at a nice 72 degrees as we begin to make our way into the evening temperatures and start to dip a little bit into the 60s. Right now we have overcast skies and calm winds. Rising barometer as our low pressure system is going to continue to move out of the region and a humidity of 66 degrees, which isn't very comfortable. Tonight we're expecting a low of 57 degrees and a chance of some thunderstorms that are beginning to form right now. Sunrise tomorrow morning is expected at 7:21 in the morning, and we'll take a look at the region. And we will see some storms beginning to form. We'll have a round right here in Athens, and we have another round that is going to start to make its way over here around Portsmouth, but we'll hear about that a little more later. That's all I have for your first look at the weather. Now back to you.
Thanks, Cam. Deer hunting season in Ohio officially begins this weekend. The state's archery season for deer runs from this Saturday through the beginning of February. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources says archery hunters set a record last year with nearly 100,000 deer taken. A majority of those deer were killed with crossbows. Deer season for gun hunters in the state starts in November. Coming up after the break, state troopers locate a missing plane in southwest Kentucky. Plus, the deadline to prevent a government shutdown is less than 3 days away.
And it's quiet across the country right now, but here in Ohio, we've got a low pressure system that's going to cause us some rain and cooler temperatures. We'll find more about that after the break, next on Newswatch.
Next time on Benjamin Franklin.
We pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Revolution.
Choosing sides means choosing fates.
Diplomacy.
Franklin had to convince one monarch to help the Americans overthrow another monarch.
And a final cause.
It's the first debate in American history on slavery.
Don't miss the conclusion of Benjamin Franklin.
Thursday at 9 on WOUB.
Consumed by pain and passion, Frida's art imitates life.
I believe the painting is a message for Rivera.
Despite it all,
everything is falling apart.
She continues to paint. The final installment of Becoming Frida Kahlo.
Whoever opens a door or a window opens it for everybody. And Frida Kahlo opened windows.
Tuesday at 9 on WOUB.
On America Outdoors, for centuries, Utah has been a land of pilgrimage, attracting people in search of transformation, spiritual, mental, or physical. They were drawn by something special about this land. What did they come here looking for?
Keep running.
And what are they looking for today? I'm here to find out exactly what that is.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
Evolution Earth, grasslands. Where animals have the power to transform our world. Out there, things aren't what you expect. You'll see.
Wednesday at 10 on WOUB.
Kentucky State police officers say crews found the bodies of a pilot instructor and his student after their plane went down last night. Troopers say the 2 bodies were found this morning after the debris field was located by a drone. Ohio County Sheriff Adam Wright says the plane went missing during a severe storm last night. He says the instructor and student pilot were flying from Bowling Green to Owensboro. Wright says the area where the wreckage was found is posing multiple challenges for investigators.
Extremely thick woods. We spoke with both of our units are on the scene and they're out of breath just trying to get to that area because of the terrain is so hilly.
The name of the student and instructor killed in the crash have not been released. The Kentucky State Police and the Federal Aviation Administration are investigating the crash. Now over to Cam with another look at your local weather.
Thank you, Silver. And while we saw a gloomy day today, fall-like temperatures and gray skies blanketing everything, we're going to see a little bit of relief for that here in the upcoming days. We have this big low-pressure system over Ohio right now, and that's going to begin to slowly make its way off to the east and give room to all of this beautiful clear weather ahead. This high pressure system is going to begin to build. It just starts right towards the end of my graphic. It just starts to build up. So it's a very young system. And it's going to continue to strengthen, and that's why we'll see the weather we're seeing right now. And right now you're seeing the pronounced effects of this low pressure system. 64 degrees in Detroit, 62 in Pittsburgh, and then much warmer over near Wichita or Kansas City where the high pressure system is beginning to build up. We won't see these 90-degree temperatures here in Athens. We'll see a little closer to Kansas City and temperatures like that. Right now, though, we have some storms. We had this one just pass us by, and we have this big complex of storms beginning to form around Portsmouth in the southern Ohio area, which is going to slowly make its way over to us here in southeast Ohio, which is why we'll have a persistent chance at storms tonight. These exact same storms have prompted a special weather statement by the National Weather Service, just because they're a little stronger than normal, but we're not expecting any widespread severe weather at this time. Across the nation tonight, we're seeing very cold temperatures where this low pressure system's going on, and even some fog over in Louisville. And then, of course, we're starting to see wintry temperatures up near Great Falls, Billings, Minot, and some of the north that is used to seeing a little earlier. But tonight we're expecting a low of 57 degrees with a 30% chance of thunderstorms, and sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:21 a.m. Tomorrow, a high of 74, a little warmer today and mostly cloudy skies. The day is going to start off very cloudy, and those clouds are going to sort of taper off as the day continues to move on, and that low pressure system starts to make its way out of the area. And we're expected 55 degrees tomorrow night. So tomorrow, we'll see this low pressure system. It has a high pressure system sort of stopping it from moving, and by tomorrow night, it hasn't made a lot of progress, but by Saturday, we will see that high pressure, we will see clearer weather, and we will see temperatures start to get just a little nicer for us. Going into the weekend, we're going to see warmer temperatures warm up. We're going to see 78 degrees on Saturday, and then sunny, cloudless day on Sunday with 79 degrees. And temperatures are going to cool off pretty quick at night due to the lack of clouds. We'll see all the way down into the low 50s even. Then by Monday, mostly sunny skies with 81 degrees, and almost the exact same day Tuesday. We're looking at a really nice week coming up. Then by Wednesday, we're going to see another low pressure system, not a particularly strong one. It is going to start to move into the region and keep temperatures roughly the same. And then by Thursday, we'll see our last warm day and a chance of showers toward the evening. As we move on to the end of next week, we'll see another temperature drop off. But that's all I have for a full look at the weather. And I know that I am excited to see a return of warm temperatures. Now over to you, Silver.
Thanks, Cam. That's it from here. So gridlock on Capitol Hill as lawmakers battle over how to fund the government, while the countdown clock on a government shutdown tricks away. In the balance, the lives of millions of federal workers who won't get paid. Laura Aguirre has the latest.
Congress's inability to get anything done, which is what the greatest frustration of all of us have, Republican and Democrat alike.
New Hampshire's governor is saying what many people are feeling. Partisan paralysis and inter-party battles within the GOP are making progress on even stopgap spending bills nearly impossible. The Senate is working on one bipartisan measure that would fund the government through November 17th and includes more aid for Ukraine. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is bypassing that effort, instead backing a bill in his chamber that includes more money for border enforcement. Senator Lindsey Graham met with key Republicans Thursday to try and thread the compromise needle.
Make a proposal on border security, married up with the package we have. Hopefully that will keep the government open. Then we'll do a supplemental to provide more security and more funding for Ukraine.
It is not going to help security at the border if the government shuts down and people are not getting paid in a timely manner.
A government shutdown means millions of federal workers like military members, Border Patrol, and air traffic controllers won't get paid.
no money for the mortgage, for the cars, for the insurance, for the bills that we have.
I'm starting to see routine mistakes in clearances being made because controllers are distracted.
With the deadline now less than 3 days away, one thing is becoming more clear by the hour.
This is all politics all the time.
It's all politics all the time.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Tens of thousands of workers in Ohio could feel the effect if Congress doesn't act by Sunday. Senator Sherrod Brown calls a potential shutdown, quote, inexcusable, saying it undermines and hurts the state. Despite a potential government shutdown this weekend, House lawmakers are focusing on another issue. The impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden began this morning. House Republicans are trying to tie Biden to his son's foreign business dealings before and during his presidency. Gloria Pasmino has the details from today's hearing.
The Committee on Oversight and Accountability will come to order.
House Republicans held their first hearing in the impeachment inquiry of President Joe Biden Thursday. It's the latest move in their effort to tie the president to his son's foreign business dealings.
The House Oversight and Accountability Committee has uncovered a mountain of evidence revealing how Joe Biden abused his public office for his family's financial gain.
But the mountain has yet to reveal itself. During the hours-long hearing, Republicans failed to provide any proof of any wrongdoing by the president. Instead, the committee heard from expert financial and constitutional witnesses who did not have direct knowledge of what House Republicans are claiming.
I am not here today to even suggest that there was corruption, fraud, or any wrongdoing. In my opinion, more information needs to be gathered.
Congressman Jamie Raskin, the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee, chastised his Republican colleagues for moving ahead with the hearing despite the lack of evidence.
The majority sits completely empty-handed with no evidence of any presidential wrongdoing.
And with the threat of a government shutdown looming, Raskin used a countdown clock as a reminder that in a matter of days, thousands of federal employees could go unpaid, a point other Democrats echoed.
This is an embarrassment to the time and people of this country.
While some Republicans remain skeptical of the probe, others argue launching the inquiry will get them access to documents that reveal the president's alleged misconduct. In New York, Gloria Pasmino.
7 presidential candidates faced off last night for the second Republican presidential debate. And once again, former President Donald Trump skipped the event entirely. Mike Valerio has the highlights on the second Republican presidential debate.
As 7 GOP presidential hopefuls took the stage at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library Wednesday night, the party's frontrunner was once again absent.
Donald Trump is missing in action.
He put $7 trillion on the debt. He should be in this room to answer those questions for the people you talk about who are suffering.
With a smaller stage, down 1 from their last debate, the candidates fought to break through.
Gentlemen, you'll have your turn.
One of the challenges we should have a
focus on the issues that matter.
The man at the center lectern, Ron DeSantis, went into the night with a lot to prove. Once considered the party's best hope of dethroning former President Donald Trump, the Florida governor has lost ground in recent polls.
As commander-in-chief, I'm going to use the U.S. military to go after the Mexican drug cartels. They are killing our people.
After memorably clashing with several rivals in Milwaukee, entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy said his goal this time around was to stress his policies and positions.
Unlock American energy. Drill, frack, burn coal, embrace nuclear energy, put people back to work.
And former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley looked to build on the momentum her campaign received from the previous debate.
We need to make sure we put 25,000 more Border Patrol and ICE agents on the ground and let them do their job.
As for the former president, Donald Trump once again skipped the evening, opting to hold an event in Detroit amid the ongoing auto workers strike.
I've risked it all to defend working class from the corrupt political class that has spent decades sucking the life, wealth, and blood out of this country.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio.
Coming up in sports, Ohio hockey is looking for redemption in the ACHA playoffs. And for the latest from Newswatch, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
We're looking for an artist to depict the trials and the struggles of the farm workers.
Cesar Chavez's call was answered.
Beware of a movement that sings.
The start of Chicano art was right there.
He would bring a dimension that together we could make a change.
We got a lot of lost cuts in California.
Decades later, his words continue to inspire. A Song for Cesar on American Masters.
Friday at 10 on WOUB.
WOUB is recognizing members of our Cornerstone Society. The Cornerstone Society is a group that wants to ensure the future of public media in our region. It includes people across our area who value news, entertainment, and cultural programming, as well as the educational services WOUB provides. Also included are graduates of Ohio University who took part in the WOUB Student Professional Development Program. Thanks to the Cornerstone Society for their generous support. To learn how you can be involved, email woub@woub.org.
I set off alone to a place far away from everything I'd ever known. Welcome.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you for the invitation.
Everyone wants us to be textbook, but it's not.
I really think we should be friends.
Trial of Sean Hallett begins today.
We weren't involved in investigating it.
Time to start digging then, for where the bodies are buried.
Professor.
We are on the same side. Then why doesn't it feel like it?
Where exactly are we going?
When are you going to tell me?
Opinions are the enemy of justice and the curse of the modern world.
Sunday at 8 on WOUB.
Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm Dylan Westmeyer. OU soccer took on Northern Illinois earlier today. The Bobcats bounced back from an early deficit after conceding to the Huskies in the first minute of the game and scored 3 goals on their own before the half. OU now moves to 2-1 in the MAC with both wins coming on the road. The Huskies fall to 0-1-2, having hit a rough patch and not finding the win column since August 24th. OU volleyball is heading to Buffalo on the road. The Bobcats are coming off a 3-set win on Tuesday at home over the Kent State Golden Flashes, leaving OU at 2-1 in the MAC. The Bobcats take on the Buffalo Bulls, who are coming off 2 wins also from those Golden Flashes, putting them at 2-0 in the MAC. This is a big matchup as OU was picked to finish second in the MAC East, while Buffalo was picked to finish third. Buffalo, at the moment, sits atop the conference, and OU is just behind them. Now heading into Bird Arena and Andrew Bowlby with the story on the expectations of the OU hockey team.
Fall weather rolling into Athens, it could only mean one thing. Hockey season has officially arrived, and with it, another opportunity for Ohio hockey to take a shot at an ACHA national championship.
Yeah, great season last year, and I think we learned a lot from the mistakes that we did make. So this year, there's only one underlying goal, that's to win the national championship.
Coming off a dominant season that saw Ohio finish second in the league rankings only to Minot State, the Bobcats have the challenge of welcoming 10 new faces to the ice this year.
So it's a work in progress. There's some growing pains, but I think that at this point this year we're a little ahead of where we were last season, so we're excited.
Head coach Lionel Marone says the Bobcats fell just short last season as bad habits plagued the team.
I think at the end of the season last year we lost because our habits weren't as consistent, and then in the semifinal game it all came down crushing on us.
However, Ohio did not struggle with its offensive production. The Bobcats finished third in the ACHA in goals scored last season and were led primarily by league MVP Luke Reeve. Despite the successful individual season for Reeve, he is shifting his focus to make sure his teammates are doing what they need to.
So personally, I don't really set that kind of huge goal or anything like that. It kind of just comes with the hard work and being a good team player and making sure that everyone's kind of doing what they need to do. Keep the team going.
Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Andrew Bowlby.
Ohio hockey will take on West Virginia University in their first matchup on Friday. From the skates to the sneakers, we head over to Pruitt Field, where the field hockey team will take on the Longwood Lancers on Friday. The Bobcats are back in town after a tough 2-3 loss to 12th-ranked Ohio State on Sunday and are hoping to bounce back for conference play. The Lancers are on a losing streak as they have lost their last 4 matchups by combined score of 4-15. OU basketball will travel to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse before the MAC tournament. The Bobcats will play in the Legends of Basketball Showcase against Davidson University on December 30th. The showcase is a triple header, including Akron versus St. Bonaventure, and is capped off with Ohio State tipping off against West Virginia in primetime. The other game times are yet to be decided and will be decided in the next few days.
Silver, I'm super excited to see these teams play. I remember growing up watching Akron, Ohio State, and OU. I mean, all three on one day?
Yeah. I mean, so what do you do? Just get 3 TVs and you're just going to put them all just in case so you don't miss any?
I might just have the one with a box of pizza.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, coming up next, when we return, calling all stargazers. Tonight is the last night to see this out-of-this-world phenomenon. But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
How would you handle the trauma of losing a loved one? Join mother and activist Movita Johnson Harrell as she transforms her grief into a fierce voice against gun violence in Black communities.
I left the city to protect my sons, and that didn't work. I'm coming back to protect yours.
Murders That Matter on POV.
Monday at 10 on WOUB.
Something's in the air, I hold my breath.
What you're doing is incredible. I'm so proud of you.
With 1 foot off the edge, I take a step. The moment's come, now's the chance.
I believe this is going to be your journey.
We are co-authors with the world around us.
Looking for me?
We've been here, and without us, there is no United States.
It's all about storytelling.
That's beautiful.
It's starting now.
These guys are willing to do whatever it takes.
The Astros used a camera system to steal
The scandal is 5% of the story.
Their pursuit of edge had a dark side to it.
It's called the bleeding edge. You have to take risks.
Became a brutally efficient business, and the Astros did better than anybody else.
If you think you're right, you're willing to endure a lot.
Try to throw them all out.
Lifetime ban.
Lifetime ban.
Tuesday at 10 on WOUB.
Tonight in Athens, we're expecting a low of 57 degrees as we're going to cool down quick from the already fall-like temperatures we saw today, and we've got a 30% chance of thunderstorms that are forming over central Ohio right now, beginning to push its way towards us. Sunrise tomorrow morning is expected at 7:21 a.m., and then tomorrow in Athens, we're expected a high of 74 degrees as clouds are going to start to clear out throughout the day, and then we'll have a low of 55 in the night as we'll see high pressure start to build up. And then through this weekend, we're going to see warmer temperatures peaking all the way back up into the 80s, a little taste of summer once again, and I know I'm going to be excited for that. And that's your look at the final weather. I'm Cam Kuzno. Now back to Silver.
Awesome. I look forward to those nice temperatures. Thanks, Cam. Hopefully those skies clear up because the last supermoon of the year is set to illuminate the sky in the early hours of tomorrow morning. A supermoon is when the moon is the biggest and brighter than other nights. This version of the supermoon is called the harvest moon as a nod to the fall season. Other names include corn, marker moon, moon of brown leaves, or autumn moon. The supermoon will peak around 6 a.m. tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I'll have to be out to see that. No, I'm not. I might not see that. I honestly might
It's
not.
super early, so I don't blame you.
Yeah, I like my sleep.
Yeah, I'll be asleep. I'll be looking for the photos though.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
tell you what I am excited for is for some good corn on the cob here in the upcoming days. How about you?
Yeah, that's true. Well, that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Cam Kuzno, Dylan Westmeyer, I'm Silver Barker. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WUB.org or follow us on social media. Have a great night.
Support comes from Buckeye Hills Regional Council and Broadband Ohio announcing the Affordable Connectivity Program, providing lower-cost internet for qualifying households. Information and applications are available at getinternet.gov. Support for PBS NewsHour is proudly provided by